Okay,
Now it is visible.
fine. Okay. So now, so in this section, mainly the user experience they're talking about. So what are the things it comes to your mind when we say user experience?
What the user is experiencing when he is working.
Okay, what are the components that will affect him interacting with the application?
The user interface, like the page layouts, record types
Mm-hmm.
on which he is working.
Okay, so if you are aware about this user experience thing is, so it will be like page layout. Inside the page layout, again, you will be having different kind of sections, buttons, related list, again the fields, whether it will be a read only or from a field, like all other things, it will be in the inside the page layout, right? So whenever if you want to see any kind of record, so the thing is the record will the data will come up in format of fields and those will be visible on the screen. Okay. So in this page layout thing, so mainly you can think about the thing, how you can what are the what type of data is required for that particular user on the UI. So adding all the fields on the UI, it will not help you, right? All the time. Okay. Whatever the like, it will looks like more clumsy. Okay. So basically, this payload, you can define like bringing on the user experience for the required setup, and what is mandatory for that user. Mandatory in the sense, what are the things? What is the data that is useful for the user to create, to update? So only the limited set of data we will bring it into the UI. Okay, and the using the page layout. Okay, so why I'm saying only we need to bring that required data for user. Let's think about a relation. Okay, here teacher and student. Okay, in a subject, like there is a subject and marks field, both fields are there. So if you give the access for these two fields, like subject and marks, to the student, like he can go and edit himself and he can put whatever marks he wants. So is that the expected behavior?
No.
Okay. So why? Because the student should not go in the real time scenarios. Student should not go and select the subject and marks. We should not allow him to edit. Okay, in that case, what things we can see, but in but also he should be able to read those. Okay, how what are the marks he got in which subject, how many marks he got, he should be able to read it, but he should not be able to edit it. Okay, in that case, we will bring out the fields on the screen, but we will restrict the fields as read only for the student page layout. Okay, so similar to that, there are certain information we should display to the user, certain information we should not display on the UI. So based on the requirement, the page layout will go on. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So in this, they're asking to create a page layout. Okay. So one page layout. So by default, whenever you create a, again repeating, so whenever you create a object, by default, Salesforce will create a page layout, default page layout, or we can call it as a master record type, and the default page layout with the same name. Okay. Now, whatever the things like for our requirement thing, for our customization, we will create more page layouts as per the requirement. Okay. So here the page layout you can select. Okay. So but as I said, the page layout the Salesforce will create automatically, right? So that is the battle station layout here. Okay. Click on this and you can they're asking to enter the fields. You can see the screen right here. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
page layout is nothing but more about drag and drop things. Okay. So here, let me zoom it. So here you will get all type of the categories like field category, buttons, quick action, related list, report charts. If you want to include any dashboard kind of things, all those. Okay. So this is a section or category. Whenever you click on fields, the available fields on this particular object, those will be displayed here, and the things which are grayed out, that means those fields are already available on the UI. For example, you want to remove any other field. Okay, you just need to go to wait. So if you don't want to keep that field on the UI, so beside the field you will get a wrench type of icon like just like this here. So from here there will be minus icon. You can take out that field, or you can even drag and keep it here. So similar to that, the buttons, standard buttons, you can see these are the standard things which will come automatically, or in your development or in your advance, or the flows we created, right? So for the flows, we can create a button and we can keep it that button here. So what will happen whenever the user clicks on that button, the flow in the backend will run and it will execute the result. Okay. So in this section, they're trying to add few related list here. So we can add those things. The related list section again here, you can see it's available there, and same. So go to the related list and it will show you the whatever available, and just bring them on the UI. Okay. Once you've done that, you will be able, you should be able to click on this save button, right? A quick save. So what is the difference between these two is like quick save, it will validate these changes and it will not commit into the system. Okay. It will validate if any errors are there, or if you miss anything, any system restrictions are there, it will throw, it will not allow you to save it. Okay. When you click on save, that means you are committing the changes into the system. So once save, that means it's done. Okay. So now we created object, we created fields, we set up your user experience here. We are using the page layout. Now the data creation we can do. Okay. So in this battle station, they are asking to create few records. Records in the sense nothing but a data. Okay. Getting guys? Any doubts still here?
Yeah, in the quick save.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting your points.
So quick save means so you, for example, you drag some fields, you drag some related list, you added some quick actions, okay, or you added some buttons. When you click on quick save, okay, for better example, whenever you create a formula, at the bottom you can see check syntax, right?
Yes.
Yeah, equal to this. It will look for there, it will look for the syntax errors. Here it will look for the total the page layout UI thing. Okay. So for example, you are trying to, for example, the battle station name is star red mark, is that means mandatory. You are trying to drag it out from the UI. You cannot do, right? So for example, somewhere it's a trying to you are trying to add up some more fields or some buttons which will cause error in the back end. So it will pre-validate your changes, and once you click on it quick save, it will pre-validate your changes and it is successful, then it will be showing like success, then you need to click on save. Okay, even you can directly click on save, but that is when you are sure about your changes. You can directly click on save and you can go ahead. There also, like, it doesn't mean that you can click on, you can escape from the system validations. No, even if you click on save, again the system will pre-validate all the things. Clear?
Okay, that means best practice to first
Yeah.
we save, then we will save.
Right.
Okay,
So the data here, they want to add it to the resource name. Okay, the resources we have created that object, right? So here, add this all data. Okay, and again, one more record you need to create for the supply, and it will be having the all kind of resources here. Can you see this data?
yes,
Okay. So since these two resources and supplies are having a relationship with the battle station, so you can see them when you go to the battle station, you can see them in the related tab. When you click on this related tab, the whatever objects or records, let's say here the data in relationship with the battle station, those will be displayed here. Related. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So here, coming to the picture roll up summary field, yesterday we discussed, right? What are the things available for roll up summary field? Okay.
yeah,
Let's remember.
yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So those are the functions only that again we'll discuss here. Okay. So they want you to create a roll up summary field in the battle station. Okay, because roll up summary fields can be created in master detail relationship, right? So here the master is battle station. So go to the battle station and fields and relationship and data type roll summary field, give some label name, and here what type of thing function you are going to use. So here they are going to use the summary calculation. Okay, so resources they are choosing as the summarized object here, and sum as the function. It will roll up the sum of the resources, and quantity it will display to the aggregation. Okay, so what will happen whenever you create, like, when you create a resources, let's go to the previous screen. So here the resources are there, right? For example, as per the roll-up summary, that we are using sum function, right? Sum. So this sum function, whenever, for example, these are the resources we have: 10, 5, 8, 8, 10, 10. So it will add up all these and it will show the sum of this quantity. Okay, quantity is the field. So grouping or aggregating the result based on certain field. So that is quantity field that they are using here to get the aggregate result. Clear? Any doubt?
no,
Okay. Um, next thing, the challenge. Guys, any doubts in this section? Any
no,
doubts? Okay.
No.
So nothing, like
No.
here, just a summary here. We created a page layout. Okay, we added whatever the fields they are asking here, and we saved that. We added the related list, and we created some of the data. So not only, so these are the, this data is mandatory to pass this challenge. Apart from this, you can create some other data also as your own. Okay, so after creating the data, just observe the things on the related list, how it is coming, and create the roll up summary field based on the quantity. Okay, clear?
yes,
Okay,
How many roll-up summary is used in one object?
you tell me who asked that question.
How many roll-up summary is used in one object?
Is that Arohi?
Yes.
Yeah, can you answer that question? You should be aware of that, right? Is it your first class? I mean, first training session?
Yes.
First training session.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then I should answer this. So roll up summary fields you can create and a master detail. Okay. So how many master details we can create?
3.
Three. Wow.
Uh-huh. Lookup
Three.
relationship or master detail relationship and yeah, lookup summary.
Guys, the remaining guys agree with that?
No.
No. Oh, okay. Then you should explain Arohi.
Yeah. Only two master data relationship we can create in one object.
Oh yeah, it is.
How many lookup?
Maximum
Overall
relationship
40.
40. If we already created two master data relationship, then only 38
Yes,
relationship
38.
with lookup we can create.
Okay. So coming to her question, how many roll up summary fields we can create per object?
Yes.
Rahul, any other can answer that?
25.
25.
Maximum 25.
You only answering the question. Okay, good. Anybody else? How many roll up summary fields per object?
I don't think there is any limitations.
It is there. Okay, so I don't want to wait you guys. Okay, so how we can know these limitations and all, like, it's so first let me answer. So at max you can go into the extension of 40 roll up summary fields per object you can create, which is the maximum. After that, even if you reach out to Salesforce, they will not help you on that. So that is the max. Okay, even if you pay, you are trying to pay more to them, they will not allow. So 40 will be the max there. And coming to the limitations, how we can see these limitations, how many fields that you already consumed. So everything you can see how many workflows already there, how many process builders you already consumed. So all these things you can go to the sharing settings. Let me open. Let me launch and show you. So in this sharing settings, you can see, right? These are like what is I think you guys must be knowing all about this sharing settings and sharing rules and all, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fine. So in this sharing settings and all, so whenever you click on this recalculate, so after first, for example, you created some sharing rule, okay, and you want to apply for the latest thing, and when you click this recalculate, so the system will calculate again the limitations. So maybe this real calculation will work on the sharing rules, but in the back end, it will also look for how many lookup fields already they created. So with this sharing, are these going to affect with that? So similar to that, like the other limitations on the workflows, again the field updates inside that process builders, all these things will be recalculated. Okay. So how we will know this kernel? So actually this will call we are as a governor limits, okay, in Salesforce. So this governor limits, it's like you can directly go and check for each component. For example, if you are talking about the workflows, the field updates, the sharing roles, or it is about the heap size or triggers, number of triggers, the SQL data queries, or the data retrieve options. So it will be different for each. Okay, so this will come when you just move into the development part, but as a quick thing, you can just refer to just governor limits in Salesforce. So this will give the latest thing on the governor limits. What is the topmost limitation set by Salesforce? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so are you referring for all the additions? Means for all the additions, it is
Yeah, it is.
limited to 50. Yes.
No, actually, it will depends on the edition also. For example, you are using a developer edition, they will not give you more, right? For example, the licenses part, simple example. Okay, it will allow you to just create 2 users. It will not allow you to create more than 2 for any type of Salesforce user. So let me select another profile. I want to show you something here. Okay. There should be some permission. Okay. We cannot see that in this profile. Okay, let me figure out, right. So when it comes, I will tell you. Okay, it will come in the next sessions. I will tell you that.
Can you tell me the name of the permission?
No, these are profiles only, but not full fledged. These are like directly it came in, right? We have not created any custom profiles now.
Okay, means which means the permission name for which
No, on
permission?
it will be on the general user permissions. So basically, what will be there, like the general permissions will not give all. Basically, this admin system permissions, because if you enable those permissions, you can go and you can do anything in the system. You can change, like that will be a security violation, right? It will lead to. So there is certain permission. If you enable that, so you will be able to see certain kind of limitations. It will be enabled in the backend. Okay. I wanted to check, but it will. Let me. So today we have not completed much. I will tell you later that. Yeah. Let's go to the next section. So add business logic here. Good. We are going to start with business logic. What is business logic? Um, what is the use of this? Can anybody tell?
Yeah, means it is referring to the formula which will be
Formula.
yes,
That's it.
not also the validation rules.
Business logic is something like the client wanted you to put on so that their business will go without manual intervention. Okay, so that means they want you to automate something. For that, we will write the business logic. So to automate or work on like automatically, for example, the formula fields, validation rules, sharing workflows, sharing settings, process builder, triggers, the code, Apex. These and all will come into auto business logic. Okay. So among those, what comes to your part or like an admin thing is validation rules, flows, process builder, workflows, sharing settings, all this. So validation rule here. Okay. What is validation rule? What is the definition for this? Why we need this validation rule?
Which validate the user's input.
Only users input.
No, no, no. Actually, it is restrict to invalid data.
What else?
It is validate the data like entered data is correct or not.
Good point. What else? The format, the data. What else?
Yeah, when we are importing or exporting the data, when we are importing the data, then it also validates. Or when we are
Okay.
using the automation process, then also it
Okay.
evaluate.
So basically, these validation rules will enforce the user to work according to their business. Okay. So just think about it. In our country, we have a national ID. Okay. Let's say Aadhaar. So for this, whenever the applicant as someone has select the country as India, so the national ID should be in the format of how many digits we have for Aadhaar. How many
12.
digits for the Aadhaar?
12.
12 days.
12
And
digits.
only numeric.
Yeah, 12 and numeric. So in between,
Yes.
you can put up space or you cannot put up. So depends on that. So it will be that. For example, user is entered only 6 numbers. Will you allow that as a correct format?
No.
No.
How we will check?
By using the length function in validation rule.
Good. So we will write up some validation rule, right? In the backend. Similar to that, the other format validations are there. And when someone selecting the date uh, before the start date of something, okay, or before their born date, birth date, something like we can put up all the data validations basically. So the summary will be like we will enforce the user to work according to our business. And not only the user, from the backend also, when you are trying to update, for example, you are trying to update some field from flow, and that value you given some wrong value and wrong format or something, and it is not fitting into your the field updation. So obviously it will fire this validation and it will throw an error. Okay, so validation rules will help you to work the entire system. That means the um, users and the business logic, which will affect the users intervention, both should work in a proper manner. Okay, so here they are trying to write up some validation rule here, and which will check the syntax.
Okay.
So this is what I was explaining, check syntax. Okay, so and these are the functions yesterday I was telling you to go through and remember some other main functions what will we use. So these are the things yesterday I was explaining. So here they wanted to check some validation, put up some validation, and everybody should aware of this, right? Or do you want me to explain?
No.
Anybody like Rahul only is the non-person in the session. Okay, remaining also there. Guys, please let me know. It's okay to ask
Yeah,
simple
it's
doubts
okay.
Yeah,
also.
we are aware.
Fine. Okay, moving to the next thing. Okay, so validation here. So not only this, please explore the remaining functions also. Okay, here. So you will get into this when you start working on your own. So just think about something in your mind and try to execute that. Okay, so that will help you to get the remaining functions as well. Okay, now flow builder recently came up with here, right? So we saw screen flow and they're asking to trigger flow here. So I think this is also we covered, is it? Record triggered flow.
Yes.
Yeah, in
Okay.
previous module.
I'll go on bit also. Fine. So record trigger flow is one of the type that flows which are available. So in this record trigger means, for example, here in this application, let's take battle station. So this is an object inside that will get the records, right? So for example, the battle station record is created. So you can see the when to execute this flow. So record created, updated, both are this. So according to your requirement, so whichever is suits for you, you need to select this. Okay. So once you select that option, so created means only at the time of creation. Updated means whenever it get updated. Created or updated means at the time of creation and at the time of updation, both cases it will execute, the flow will be executed. Okay, so entry conditions, so initial entry conditions, if you have anything you can set up here. So here they're looking for the weapon status fully operational, that means it is ready to use. If that is ready to use, then they're going for the next fields. Okay, only when the record is subject to the condition requirement, so this condition is met, then only we will consider that record. Okay, so the remaining conditions, weapons to equals, so these are the like you can set up the conditions inside the flow. Okay, so once that is done, update record action. So they're trying to update based on the conditions, we will filter it out, and based on that we will update the records here. Okay, so what they are updating here, so you can closely observe this, the options here. Use the battle station record that trigger the flow, that means whichever record. So in this example we have chosen whenever it is created or updated, right? So whatever the record is created, so that record only will come, or the record which got updated, that record only the flow will pick up and execute with this first option. Okay, when you select this first option, when you select the second option, use the IDs and all field values from record or record collection. So this option if you select, it will give you the all values, the IDs it will come. Okay, and with the ID, if you have ID in your hand, that means you have the entire record in your hand. Okay, or you can create a record collection. So if you guys remember, during our flow training, we have created one record set account, right, in the contact. So similar to that record set, collection set we can create and we can use that. So the third option, so again you can specify the conditions again, and we can set up the fields also. So here, three different options. So mainly 90% of the cases we go with the first one, because the intention is record triggered, right? So whatever the record is triggering, if it is having other lookup relation or master detail relation, so we can get those fields also. So overall 90% of the things can be done with the first option only. The second and third one, basically it will go into the specific or the corner cases requirements. Okay. Again, so they're setting up the process, conditions here. So based on that, we can do the actions. So till now, what we have done, we created a record triggered flow, and we have set up initial conditions. Before that, the when to trigger we have selected, and initial conditions we have set up, and then record action, new update records. So we have updated some records here to project status to equal to complete, and the next action, post to charter. So we are posting some message to the charter. Okay, everybody should know, right, the charter, how it works. Okay, so this action also you can find when you click on this plus icon. Okay, post to charter, what message? Either you can type on your own with the text, or if you want to include any values, for example, dollar amount, something, or the name of the battle application here. For example, they use this global, right, record. So this dollar record means the record whichever triggered this flow. Okay, the record ID name they are using. So the all with that all information, they will post this message. Okay, in the message they are inputted all this target ID. So the name, the record which we have here, we got in this flow, that ID we have taken here, and the message we will post in that, and it will be updated in the post to charter. The activities, you know, right? Activities, task, call, post.
Yes.
Yeah, there it will come. Okay. So the record, whatever it trigger, no, when you open that detail of this record, it will show up there. Okay. Now they given some name to save the flow, enter the label, click save, and activate it. As I told earlier also, if you click on activate it, then only the flow will be come into picture. Okay, otherwise it will not. The system will not consider if you not activated that flow. So this is the overall picture how we will get update status, the field updations, initial entry criteria we have set up here, and post to charter. Again, we have taken one action here. Okay, so similar to this, you will get the notification. Any doubts? Guys,
No.
for everybody? Okay.
No.
Okay, so again here the challenge is there. So pin to pin, just go read the, see, I did not even explain the text as I told earlier, the theoretical part. So if you read the theoretical part, then only will get the terminology. So go through this again today. So yesterday 2 topics, 2 sections we completed. Today 2 sections. So please complete all those, and there will be one more section. Okay, we will complete that in the next. So reports and dashboards, you guys asked me earlier when I started this flow thing. So that time I did not explain in detail. So the next topic, this 2, I will show in practical also. So this will take more time, and we will have the class on Saturday.